Hi everyone, my name is Shinpei Kato. Thank you very much for introduction. So I'm going to talk about the art of open source Reimagine intelligent vehicles, which is the open source that you can anytime download it and use for your application. Before stepping into my presentation, let me introduce myself briefly. So my name is Shinpei Kato again, and I used to be a professor of computer science at the University of Tokyo, and my startup was a spin-out from the university research project, and now it's becoming one of pretty large-scale startups in Japan. So I encourage students or professors to also start your companies using your research outcome. And autonomous driving means a lot. So today you can see Tesla, for example. It's a really good example of mass production that also provides autonomous driving capabilities. But all over the world, we are developing a cutting-edge vehicles. And robotaxi may be a really good example that you can imagine in the future. And in Japan, we can already provide driverless services if you apply for appropriate applications. And car makers in Japan also start using this open source for mass production or commercializations. And there are many types of the cars that can use the open source. So the typical shape car, also minibus or microbuses are kind of low-speed vehicles today, most advanced in commercialization. But recently, the government is also pushing more high-speed applications like large bus. And these large buses, actually load buses, are running already on existing service routes operated by transporter companies. And this type of application is significantly supported by the government because it's a public transportation. So in Japan, we have many autonomous driving applications, but public transportation is high priority today. So we are going to improve it for other types of applications once these public transportation systems are deployed. And this is also electric buses are more kind of significant for us because it can provide powers. Not only public road, but also private area applications are getting commercialized today. So this is a joint venture between my company and the Yamaha Motors, providing touring cars in factories. It actually operated 24 days, 365 days already. And recently, I'm very interested in racing. It's entertainment. Robot car can compete with each other for entertainment. So, and autonomous driving also creates other applications or combine other applications. One of interesting things that we are trying to do is the combination of virtual reality or augmented reality with autonomous driving, because autonomous driving car has sensors whose data can be combined or shared with the virtual reality so that the passengers do not have to see the real world. Instead, they can watch the virtual world while you are moving, so that you can use the time and the space in a different way that can create another business, hopefully. So not only virtual reality, but also many other applications, we are kind of looking forward to making collaborations. So I know that many startups provide cutting-edge applications. So most of them could be compatible, could be combined with autonomous driving applications. So it's not only automotive technology now, it's more like a mobility or time and space new applications, which we like to proceed. And autonomous driving systems are composed of hardware and software, of course. And hardware includes chassis, rolling chassis, computers, and sensors, while software includes multiple components. And this type of software is called Autonomous Vehicle 1.0. But today, you know that generative AI is emerging. So autonomous driving systems can also use generative AI, which we call it AV 2.0. But in either case, we are willing to provide the technology by open source so that you can also download and modify to build your own applications. So if it's a black box, it's only a single system. But if it's open source, it could be a platform to create multiple applications. I don't know how many companies exactly are using this open source software. But as far as my company is collaborating, there are more than 1,000 companies in the world who we are collaborating. So this means that the users of this software is more than 1,000 companies now. And since this is open source, so you can go to the website and just download it and use it for either research or commercial development. Okay. I'm just waiting. Okay, maybe I can just skip the videos. Okay, it's going now. So this is what you can do with open source without single line of code modification. Just download it, install your car, and you can get this software for free. So I think it's a waste of time to develop the same software from scratch again because it takes years. Just download this software and use it as a baseline to build your own autonomous vehicles. So it can recognize the environments, also objects, and it can calculate the routes and generate trajectories and control the cars. And it also has a map interfaces. And we are trying to introduce generative AI into this software so that we can provide passenger car, bus, taxi, and small cars, racing cars, and so on. And I believe that this open source is today, at least, the world leading and largest and probably most popular open source software for autonomous driving. So I really appreciate that Korean community is also trying to use it and to build an ecosystem together with startups and car companies. So using open source, we can establish the business model in a different way. But what we're doing is that, so we provide a platform on top of open source. So open source is a lake. Means that there are many materials inside this open source software, but you don't know how to build a system using open source. So we are providing platform that tells you how to build or develop your application on top of it. On the other hand, if you build, most of our competitors are doing in-house development. So it takes time, it takes costs, and its quality could be compromised. So I really believe that using open source and platform can reduce the cost and time, which means that you can focus on the quality improvement, then the customers will get the most valuable applications. Only the big companies like in Silicon Valley or in China can do this development from scratch. So But I believe that most of startups, most of car companies may want to use open source because, as I said, they can reduce cost and time while keeping its high quality. And what we are doing is that using this platform, so we can even build a car by ourselves. So today, you can just build a car yourself. It's like personal computers. Just buy components like batteries, steerings, and brakes, then install this software. It can become a car. Or you can only build the system, like composed of sensors and computers, and you can sell it. Cloud systems or connected applications can also be built on top of this platform. Or, of course, engineering services using platform will be an interesting business. This is, I think, very significant in the sense that today you can buy a car, but you can't buy core component inside the car because it's built in. But using open source or platform, you can actually buy components of the car so that you can combine yourself to build your own car. So in the future, I think, if not everyone, but many people will be able to build your own cars using open source and platform. And with respect to autonomous driving ecosystems in Japan, so we have level 4 certificate, which means that human operators are not required to sit in a driver seat. So my company is the first company that are qualified by the government to operate driverless cars, which corresponds to level 4 certification. And what we're trying to do is not only my company, but also other companies can do the same thing because this is open source, this is a platform, so other companies can actually also obtain L4, level 4 certificate using our open source and platform. Japan is actually following other countries like United States and China. There are more applications actually which are qualified to operate level 4 services. So, but this means that United States, China, and Japan are actually start operating level 4 autonomous vehicles. So I think in the near future, many other countries can also do this level 4 automation. So we started mass production of the cars because we are now certified by the government. Now what we're supposed to do is to manufacture the bunch of the level 4 autonomous vehicles so that other car makers can copy this development, this design for the mass production. We have factory, but we can't manufacture a million units of the cars. At most, maybe 100 or 1,000 units of the cars are upper bound for our capability. But car manufacturers just copy this design. It's open source platform. So they can manufacture 100,000 or million units of the cars using our design. So now we are trying to be not just autonomous driving company, but also a leading unicorn startup in the global market. So I met the governor, Dong-Yong Kim, in the World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos this year. So he invited our company to this event. So this forum is offering a really rich set of places for startups to communicate with each other. So many CEOs gather at the same place and discuss how to grow together So I hope that both Korea and Japan startups also join these global communities and communicate more in the future. So let me wrap up with a few slides. So what's next? So we are trying to offer the reference design of the car. So I repeat it. Our company is providing platform and open source. So now we're trying to provide a reference design, how to use this open source and platform. If we publish this design, then many car companies can just copy this design and start manufacturing for the mass production. So surprisingly, I can't find a textbook for the car in commodity market. So we like to build a textbook of autonomous vehicles so that other companies can actually copy and improve what we are doing. So this is the first project that we want to do in the future. So we call it Vehicle Development Service. We want anyone to be able to manufacture autonomous vehicles. And second thing is that if our design is used by many cars in the global market, then perhaps AI development can also change, because today you have to buy a bunch of GPUs with the supercomputers or data centers. So it's really it's becoming a bottleneck. If you can't buy GPUs, then you can't train AI. But your car in the garage is not working 80% of the time. So if the autonomous vehicles are deployed, it has high-performance computers inside the car. So while you're parking your car, maybe that car can also work to train the AI using the computers, so that it's going to be more and more distributed. This means that in the future, the central supercomputer may not be needed to the extent that we need today. I'm not saying that we don't really need supercomputers, but we can reduce the dependency on a central supercomputer if the cars in the world can actually work to train AI as a distributed system. So this is the second project that we're trying to do, which we call it cooperative ML ops. And finally, so this means that we're trying to also build a city design. So autonomous driving and autonomous vehicles, and the city using autonomous vehicle is that we are trying to invest. So we are cooperating with many car companies, railway companies, the government to produce the new ecosystem, the new economic places in Japan to create new things. So there are many technologies potentially which can contribute to improving the society. So we like to leverage open source and platform and autonomous vehicles to improve the human life as a city application. So this is a third project that we like to produce with our partners. Thank you very much. So we have many projects, and Korea, Japan are very close. So I hope that we can work together in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the wonderful speech.